video, we're going to be learning how to make Rory Kramer's saturation fade and his quick whip from both of his videos. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Matthew and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be recreating Rory Kramer's quick whip effect and his saturation fade effect. For the 1% of you that do not know who Rory Kramer is, in case you don't know, let me just first tell you, the man is a legend. Rory is a videographer and YouTuber who goes on tour with some of the biggest names in music, such as Justin Bieber and more recently, actually the Chainsmokers. You may have seen the Closer lyric video that he created. It's crazy because he also has his own MTV series called Dare to Live, and it's actually really good. I watched like 3 episodes of it and I was immediately hooked, so I will leave the links in the description as well as his links. I really think this effect is a really awesome effect if you're trying to go for a more story-oriented video. There's just so many possibilities of using this effect and incorporating it into your videos in the future, and this effect can really make the story a lot more expanded and you can visualize it really well with this effect. For example, like one way you could use it is, say you have like a subject or something, and maybe they're sitting on the steps of their house and they're pretty, sad, lonely, and then maybe you look over at somebody else and they're like bringing McDonald's or something. They got like a big McDonald's bag in their hand or something. So when they're sad and lonely, you can take it from going black and white and they'll slowly fade into the saturated clip. This video is actually going to have 2 parts. It's going to have the saturated fade, which is going to be the first effect that we go over, and then we're also going to have the second part. I'll put the timestamp right here, and that is going to be the quick whip effect. I will see you guys in the editing program, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So as you can see, I'm here in the editing program. We are actually going to be using Adobe Premiere Pro CC for this video. Obviously, if you have any other versions of Adobe Premiere Pro, this will work because there's no new effects really for this effect. So the first thing you want to do is open up your composition. I have the program up here, and then over here I have effect controls. Over here I have effects, and then down here in the bottom left I actually have my project, which is #1 YouTube tutorials. And obviously right here you have your timeline where you drop your media. So first you want to import your footage. There are 2 ways that you can do this. If you're watching this video, you should know how to import your footage, but for those of you that are beginners, so the first way is to right click in the project and then just go to import. It's as simple as that, and import your footage. The second way is to just drag and drop it. I'm just gonna do it that way because it's more easier. So in my case, I'm just gonna import this clip because it has a lot of saturation in it and color, in my opinion. After you import your footage, you just want to simply drag and drop it onto the timeline. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to add an adjustment layer to the clip. To do that, you want to go down here to your project, hit new item, and click adjustment layer. Make sure it is the same video settings as your clip. So in my case, this drone clip is 2.7K, so it would be 2704 by 1520. If you have a 1080p clip, it'll obviously be 1920 by 1080, and if you have a 720 clip, it will be 720 by 1280 or 1280 by 720. Can't really remember that right now. All right, so our frame rate is 24. I would just make it 24 if that's what you're going for. So now we have our adjustment layer. It appears here in the project. We're just going to drag and drop that over here and extend it to the length of your clip. So I'm going to cut this clip just to make it the length that I want it. So yeah, I like that. So we're just going to cut it like that and drag it to the beginning of the timeline. So now what you're going to want to do is actually duplicate your adjustment layer. To do that, if you're on Mac, you want to hit Option. If you're on Windows, you're going to hit Alt. So while holding Option or Alt, depends if you're Mac or Windows, you're going to hit Option, in my case, click the clip and drag it up, so that duplicated the adjustment layer. So now we have 3 clips on our timeline. The first clip is going to be obviously the drone clip, and then the first adjustment layer up from the drone clip is actually going to be your LUT, and then the clip after that is going to be the black and white saturation. I'm just going to do something really basic to this clip and just color correct it, a little bit. So I'm going to go up here, hit color, and it brings up the Lumetri color panel. I'm just going to add a Kodak 5205 or something like that because I think that looks nice. It's okay. I mean, the sky's kind of blown out and the highlights are really bad, but it does the job for what we are doing. For our second clip, you want to come up here and click the second clip up from the LUT clip, and you want to just drag the saturation down all the way to 0. Now make sure that clip is still selected, and what we're going to do now is go up here into effect controls, scroll down a little bit until you see Lumetri color, come under here, creative, and this is where the effect basically gets applied. So come over here and add a saturation keyframe and make sure it's at 0. Then you want to drag your playhead to the end of the clip, hit backspace so it's the very end of the clip, and we're just gonna put our saturation back up to 100. Now when you do this, it shall fade from a black and white into a saturated clip. So yeah, that's literally all it is. As you can see, we go from black and white slowly fading into a saturated clip, and then at the very end it is the saturated clip. Really cool effect in my opinion, and you can do so much with this effect. Okay, so now we're gonna learn the second part of this video, which is the Rory Kramer quick clip effect. I think this is a really cool effect, and it can be done in camera with just a little bit of editing and post, so that's why I like it so much. So this works best in a clip with a lot of motion, and you actually do have to do something with your camera before you actually get into the post-production. So to achieve the quick whip effect and make it seamless, you need to make sure there's some sort of motion. So pretend this is my camera. It's not a camera, it's an iPhone, so it's not a camera. So pretend this is your camera. You always have to have some sort of constant motion when in pre-production for this certain effect. So whether it's left to right or right to left, or down to up, or just like shaking your camera wildly, which is what I did, you always need to have some flow of motion. So say that my hand is the subject, whatever you're recording, and you want to take your camera, my phone, you're gonna record the first clip going like that, and then you're gonna go to the other subject and you're also gonna record the same motion. So now that we're here in post production, we're using Premiere Pro again, obviously. I just recorded some things of G Fuel. This is my footage. It's pretty lame, but hey, it gets the job done. Really quickly, I'm just gonna go through and cut out the parts that I don't like. Okay, so now that I've done some really basic editing to these clips, we can now get into the editing software. So basically what you want to go for is you want to cut your clips where the movement happens, whether it's left or right, up or down, or just shaking it wildly. You just want to cut it in between that movement. So as you can see, it's shaking crazily, and then this is shaking crazily too. So we're actually going to cut that right there and then drag it over here. So you want to get to the part where it shakes, and actually right here, we are just going to add a speed ramp. If you don't know how to do that, you want to right click on your footage, scroll down to the bottom where it says show clip keyframes, go to time remapping, and go to speed. After that, you'll see this little line appears, and that is like what you can do with the speed. So you can drag it up and down, make it slow and whatever you want. We're gonna hit Command Z right now. So now you wanna go to effect controls, and you actually wanna scroll down to speed. You wanna add a keyframe at this point in the clip. And as you can see, the keyframe's been added to the clip. Now what you wanna do is you wanna drag this little line up on the right side of the keyframe to however much speed you want. Really quickly, I forgot to do this, but I'm gonna delete the audio because that's not really important. Maybe you want to add a swoosher or something, that's fine, but for this, I don't really need audio. So as you can see, it's kind of going fast, and then I'm gonna have it speed ramp. We're just gonna go show clip keyframes again, time remapping, speed, and we're gonna add a keyframe there on the clip, drag it up. And it's kind of the quick whip effect. Obviously, you want to have some good footage. This was kind of rushed, I'm not gonna lie. It's a really cool effect to create a kind of dramatic, fast, quick-paced transition in camera with just a little teeny bit of editing and post. Yeah, there you have it. That is the quick whip transition and the saturation fade. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, I upload every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so come back on Friday. If this is the first time you've actually seen me on your screen, be sure to leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below for more content from me. I can't wait. I'm already gonna start recording the next video for Friday, and that is going to be a great video, one of my favorite effects to use for text. I'll give you a hint, it's BD, so if you can guess it, I will give you a shout out in the next video. Anyways, I'm just gonna quit rambling. That's it for the video, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys Friday. Peace.